There are endless Bitcoin podcasts. Most of them pretend they're always right. We don't. Bitcoin Tonight, live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Club Underground. No scripts, no influence or hierarchy, no mercy for bad ideas. Some takes land and some don't. Some sentences should have stayed in our heads. You'll hear all of it live with us, Humble Warrior, Sir Ulric, and Phil. Plus, a chat that makes sure we know when we're wrong. If you're not here live, you're missing the point. And yes, you're missing the best part. Monday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Bitcoin Tonight. Catch us live. The replay, it's not going to hit the same.
I'm going to go back in time and stop Brian from getting it on with your dog. Everybody stand back. Oh boy. Okay.
That's right. We're doing the time travel episode. I had to do the Family Guy thing because I love Family Guy. Welcome back, everybody. It is Bitcoin Tonight, but we're doing a special edition. It's going to be the deep dive edition. That's right. Humble is taking us on a trip down the rabbit hole of Trump, the time traveler. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, guys. But before we start talking about that stuff, we're going to take a look. Of course, we're going to talk about some Bitcoins. And I mean, the time traveler stuff has to do with Bitcoin as well. There's a Bitcoin affiliation. But before we get into that, we are going to take a look at some Bitcoin news. Kazakhstan bought some Bitcoin. Boris Johnson decided to wreck himself in front of everyone and tell everybody he doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. So we're going to take a look at that. What else? Block. Block is going to take an L for some stablecoin action. We're going to look at some AI, some ads, and some ID stuff. And apparently we also have some time traveling in the economy that we're going to look at. So there you go. It's a whole entire episode of time travel and Bitcoin and probably some really off the wall takes. Let's frickin' do it. Here we go. Club Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium.
You guys, welcome to Bitcoin Tonight, episode 15.
Good evening.
And so let's just get started, okay? So Kazakhstan has announced, it has been announced that Kazakhstan is buying Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin they were about third in the world in terms of hash rate per country around 2022, 23, basically after the China ban. All those miners migrated to either Russia or Kazakhstan. Maybe some came to America, but for the most part, Kazakhstan took the bulk of them. We have a video I want to play real quick from the VanEck CEO.
Last week, the first central bank to buy Bitcoin, the Central Bank of Kazakhstan, announced that they'll be adding Bitcoin and digital assets. That really gets to my point about this intersection between the energy and electricity markets and the Bitcoin market.
Are you not hearing it?
I'm not here.
Sitting on huge reserves of nuclear power and electricity, so it's natural.
So that was good enough. So Humble couldn't hear it. I could.
Volume was a little low. Yeah.
It was,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna.
But you could hear his dogs in the background and stuff. I mean that's a
yeah. Wait, he didn't say
got a whole bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah, he didn't say anything that I didn't. His dogs were barking. He didn't say anything that I didn't say, and so I want to give it to you guys, Humble and Phil. What does this mean to Bitcoin in general when it comes to a central bank actually purchasing it? And it's funny, in the comments, there's a lot of kind of politicization. It's like, well, they're not actually the first. Samson Mao said it should have been Suriname, and then VJ Boyaparte had some kind of less than enthused remarks. It's kind of like, wow, like, aren't we just all about, doesn't matter who bought it first or why they're buying it? Like, they're buying it, right? And it's not an ETF. Phil, what are your thoughts on this one?
Sorry, LV99 said we heard the most important part, the barking dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, so you've heard me say a million times, right? Like no country's ever buying Bitcoin, and then of course I've had to change my narrative because there's a few countries that have bought some Bitcoin. And it's like, okay, so you've got these smaller countries that probably do not have the fight and might of, let's say, the Western world, right? Like the US or something like that. So okay, they're buying Bitcoin. I mean, look, this is the Bitcoin is for enemies. So the reality is that can't stop a country from acquiring Bitcoin. And is it going to lead to better conditions for the population? Well, if you look at El Salvador, some people would say it does, right? There's other people that would say it doesn't. So, I don't think you're going to make everybody happy, but generally, when a country doesn't have to be in debt to the IMF, they seem to be able to do a little bit better. So,
Humble, I feel like there's the responses to this didn't seem like victory. It's almost petty in a lot of the responses here. Some of it was confusion, but nothing really like, oh yay, this is good. We see a lot more positivity about people buying ETFs. This country has actually mined, and this country is actually buying the base layer asset. Isn't this a victory for Bitcoin in general? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'd say, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a victory considering we do have the ETFs now. So it's a much different story than what we've seen in the past before the ETFs and countries were buying Bitcoin. So now they had this option to go into the ETFs and, mess around with all of that. And of course, what is it? There's Stretch now. There's Stretch and MicroStrategy and all that stuff, right? So they said no to that and yes to actually holding the Bitcoin. So good for them.
I agree. And it's funny if everyone who's watching this, if they were to take a look at the replies in the Bitcoin News Twitter post on this topic, in my opinion, I'm shocked. You guys should be shocked too. It just feels like people had stake in other domains, kind of being the forefront movers onto Bitcoin, and for this country to do it when guess what they didn't use any super influencer help. It kind of shows how valuable these influencers are. Like influencers promised us El Salvador would maintain Suriname, or however you say it, all these different South American countries, and yet still Kazakhstan. I don't see any influencers there. I think it's a win for the decentralized monetary movement. In other news, this old prime minister decides to kick Bitcoin when it's down, allegedly. I don't know. I think he may have called the bottom. Bitcoin has been moving up 9 days straight. And I look back, and that's the best movement for Bitcoin in terms of 9 days in a row in the green. Since the ETFs were about to be launched back in February of 24, we had 8 days straight, and I think we're at 9 days straight for Bitcoin now. Boris Johnson saying, of course, it's a Ponzi scheme, but he got fact-checked real quick. Ponzi scheme issuers promise artificially high rates of return with little or no risk. And also, Bitcoin has no issuer, and its value is purely determined by the free market. The code is totally public opt-in. Nobody can force you to run it or any particular version. And I think this is very important to remember, that these people that come out and throw out lowbrow insults to Bitcoin like Ponzi scheme, a scam, Satoshi Nakamoto means central intelligence, which it doesn't. And mind you, where did I see that? I saw that in the replies. The worst part about this is that the people who were against this story about Boris Johnson, they were completely brainwashed against Bitcoin as well, saying, well, that's the one thing we agree on, that Bitcoin is a scam. I'm like, these poor people from the United Kingdom, they have no idea that their one way to opt out of the dystopia that's forming around them is they're basically looking past it to hope that somehow we'll return to a gold standard. Humble, it's funny, you're a mom and you interact with with other parents and these people, and you probably interact with people of different political backgrounds. I'm very disappointed in the conservatives that are out there right now, or the people that are anti-state. They seem to miss the qualities that Bitcoin can bring to a freedom, a person who is desiring a freedom movement or a free market economy for the future. Do you ever get that vibe from the people that are, generally conservative, that they're missing the boat on Bitcoin?
All the time. So it's interesting because their perspective is just based on God, like years ago, where you just heard about Bitcoin pumping and people making so much money back then, and they got in and they got out and they became millionaires, and that's it. That's all they know about it.
Yeah.
They don't know that it's this freedom technology. I mean, in all fairness, I didn't either. So, until I actually orange pilled myself, I didn't know. It's just, you have this perception and it's not something that you stumble across in your daily life. Certainly when I orange pilled myself, it was just barely, making its way into the news. And now it's all over the place. So I guess now there's a little bit more of a disappointment because the information is out there. It is in the news, and conservatives especially. It doesn't matter if you're MAGA or not. Donald Trump is definitely talking about it. So
isn't that an indicator, whether you agree with him or not, the fact that a president's talking about it? Like, at the very least, maybe go, if you think Donald Trump is fake news, and look, ACP says there's so much misinformation out there. There's misinformation from Donald Trump as well. I mean, shouldn't that mean go do your digging? Huh. It's kind of crazy. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah. Phil, what about you? Like, do you
I just
go ahead.
want to bring up the that people are calling some shots here in the chat. Humble. I don't know if you want to address this, but JD says Humble, so much for your 40K prediction.
I don't even know what gonna get there.
JD, please don't jinx us. We're doing so good. I just want to.
It's too fast.
Yeah.
It's too fast to be dancing on that grave. We've got a lot of resistance overhead. Still a lot of resistance overhead. Trust me. I want to be all like, yeah, we're done. No 40K, no 30K. I'm
taking notes. Who was that? ACP?
That was JD.
No, that was JD.
Okay, JD. Yeah, we'll talk.
You see the green in the background. I'm trying to be humble, but we're winning.
Winning right now, but we could be losing in a couple of days. We could be losing by tomorrow morning.
At 9 days, the Bears are going to come in for a correction, but as of right now, it looks good. I mean, we can talk about that for a little bit. We don't have to push this. Boris is so boring. What do you guys think about the price?
His hair is cool
with it. Say what?
I said his hair is cool. We got some comments in the chat.
Hair is not cool at all. That's a nightmare. I've had nightmares about having that.
If I could do what he could do, I'd be thrilled.
But 9 days. It's either 8 or 9 days. I know 8 was for sure solid, depending on when the 9th day ends. This is a time frame where, even though the movements were quite small compared to what we've seen in recent past, I think that's a little healthier, and probably gets people to pay attention to it more. It's like, Bitcoin just keeps on going up. It's nice to see that for a moment, right?
It's definitely nice to see that for a moment. The magic number that I'm hearing is around 78K. So that's kind of what we have to look out for. And if we actually break that, then the next magic number that apparently matters is like 85, which is funny, right? Because it's obviously the inverse of 58. So it's through them.
Those numbers were the same ones from like 3 months ago when we were going down. Like, we can't pass. It's so funny how those numbers stay the same.
Obviously I'm happy to, not see bleeding again, right? But it's cautious optimism. Oh, it's been since July 2021, sorry, that we had 9 straight grain days.
Yeah,
all right.
8, I think either 7 or 8 was February 24th. I didn't go back to see when we actually had 9. So thank you, Isaiah, for that tidbit of information.
Oh, wait a second. I think that might be Isaiah from the bear chat. Might be Bitcoin, Isaiah. That might be bear. We might have some bear chat people.
Oh.
You're getting some people.
Very nice.
Hello,
Very
Bear
nice. Welcome,
Chat.
Bear Chat, if you are here.
Welcome. This is
Don't worry,
your,
we've got your representation. Humble's here. Okay, she's representing
I
for you.
didn't ask you that before, Phil. We were talking about the bear chat. Is Humble like the ringleader in that group?
No, I'm
or-
not. No, I'm not even in the bear chat.
No.
Goodness.
I think Mastermind is the head of the bear chat, but then there's like a close like upper circle, right? With Isaiah and HGX and Bones,
hey,
and
Hey,
I don't know who
Isaiah
else.
on Twitter.
A shout out to Mastermind because
Oh, that's
apparently
it.
his wife's water broke and
Hey, congrats!
Congratulations.
yeah.
All right, so he's not paying attention to this right now. He's out there building. So
HGX is in the bear chat.
So Humble,
Oh,
I mean,
that's
are
awesome.
you shocked? Are you nervous? I mean, and here's a good question. When do you, and this happened in 2022. People were calling for 12K. It hit barely 15.8 and then popped right back up. When do you capitulate? And if you had cash on the side, when you say 40K is over, I'm just going to start dollar cost averaging again. When do you say that ship has sailed?
But when do I stop dollar cost averaging?
No. When do you say I'm not going to wait on the sideline?
oh, okay. What's the upper band? What's the number that flips you? What's the number that flips you? I guess
you can't wait just forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always stacking sats.
That's good.
So like going all in, like I've got some bag on the side. Like I don't have a bag on the side until we sell our house. So
okay.
So
you're kind of like the timing. So once you sell the house, like you have this bigger bag, and you would basically you're not going to hold that off waiting for 40. You're going to continue your general dollar cost average, hoping that price goes down so you're more sats for your dollar.
I'm pretty sure the majority of that is going to go into Bitcoin immediately because my husband is just wait. He cannot stand it. And he tells me, he's like, there's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin. Never a bad. And I'm just like, don't you think we should wait until it goes a little bit lower? He's like, no, there's never a bad time to buy. You don't know when it's, and I'm like, okay.
Do you stick it to him that he was a shitcoiner? Because I gotta tell you, I think I would. I think if my wife was a shitcoiner that became this like hardcore Bitcoiner and would be like telling me like, yo, we need to stack sats and stuff, I'd be like, you're a shitcoiner.
Dude, he has.
Don't tell me when we're supposed to be buying it. I know.
I know. He orange pills people he orange pills his patients. He actually had a patient give him a 5-star review and say that he should have bought Bitcoin when his doctor told him to. I mean, it wasn't about like the patient care. It was about like, we were talking about stuff, and the guy was like, "Man, you were right about Bitcoin."
Hey, the low ego
Isn't
on that
it patient
guy.
care?
Yes, it's patient.
I got dozens of people in my office knowing that I've told them to buy at 15K, 17K, 21K. And I'm just saying, hey, I'm the Bitcoin guy. And guess what? They're silent. Oh my gosh, talk about. I don't care because half of my all the people who aren't normies in my office just retired like last year. I'm like, where are my allies? They've all left or retired, and I'm left with people who'll just watch me march up as Bitcoin continues to rise. But hey, everyone picks their path. Jack Dorsey picked his path. Let me see if we can make this bigger for you guys. Look,
oof.
I don't like we're going to support stablecoins, but
no choice.
I don't mean to be a racist, but I don't mean to criticize, but our customers want them, says Jack, as Blocks reluctantly joins Stripe and PayPal, adding stablecoin support. So look, stablecoins, we've talked about how much stablecoins have manifested, throughout the world, how Trump was and the administration was really jockeying for stablecoin, not reform, but evolution. All those Bitcoin treasury bills had a whole lot of stablecoin laws in them. And so now you have these companies that are capitulating and say, we're going to do stablecoins, or maybe it's not capitulating, it's profitable for them. But Jack, who's probably, trying to be, Bitcoin is money, medium of exchange. He just laid off 40% of his of his company, you know, not more than a month ago. And now he's capitulating to offer and utilize stablecoins alongside Bitcoin. Is this, Phil, do you think this is going to help elongate Block's relevance, or do you think that he's just giving lip service for the Bitcoin religious few?
You talking about his support for Bitcoin? I think
No,
so.
I think like his decision to bring stablecoins on.
Oh, he has no choice. Yeah, so look, he really has no choice. If you take a look at Block's affiliations, where Block comes from, right? They were originally not necessarily spun out from Visa, but they were majority owned by Visa. All of their connections are obviously completely TradFi. Take a look at how long it took for him just to roll out Lightning, right? Because of, again, supposedly the bureaucratic red tape, even though other businesses were able to roll out Lightning much faster. So, you know, like I think he is, I do believe that he believes in Bitcoin. I believe that he understands Bitcoin's properties and appreciates them. However, he also, because he is choosing to play the game at the level that he does, he's got to do some knee bending, right? And, you know, not that I'm standing up for him, but he probably could have brought stable coins in a lot earlier and didn't. So not saying that like, hey, you know, this could be a lot worse, but I think he's just, look, he's pretty much, how could I say this? He's, you know, he's holding the, what is that? Like he's holding the lion at the gates kind of thing, right? And he's just trying to slow it down, but it doesn't matter. Like the stable coin avalanche is coming. Like you could see it. The writing is on the wall. Look at what the banks are doing, right? The banks are freaking out. They're stalling out on the, is it the Clarity Act or whichever bill, or who cares?
Right. Yeah.
You know, like they're stalling out on it. But in the meantime, watch the news, right? What are they doing in the background? In the background, they're laying out all the rails. They're getting everything ready. They're getting all their services ready to offer this stuff. They're doing this on purpose. So, yeah, it's okay. It's the guy doesn't want to die, right? Like and I mean that metaphorically. He doesn't want the business to become completely irrelevant. So he's doing what he's got to do.
Yeah, and I think economics is a very important point here. Look, for the sake of survival, I give myself an example. As much as I love Bitcoin, look, I'm going to take those dollars from my company who takes dollars from the Department of Defense. Okay, it's like I'm going to survive while propagating the Bitcoin economy to the best of my ability, and I hope everyone else does too. Now, there are some people, and shout out to our Telegram chat. By the way, the people who watch this, if you're not joined to our Telegram chat, send me, Phil, Humble, DM. We'd love to get you in our private, little intimate Telegram chat where we talk about all things Pleb Underground. But the catch is, it's like, we've had this conversation. It's like, what's the drawback of a Bitcoin company accepting or participating in the fiat economy? You know, and it's like, you're going to potentially lose some people who will virtue signal one way, Bitcoin maxi, which we all are, but at the same time, you're probably going to open yourself up to business so that you can survive. Humble, you have several businesses out there, and your you know, beautiful t-shirts and all kinds of fashion products. What's it like for you with regards to choosing Bitcoin versus fiat versus both?
As far as utilizing it in my business?
Yeah.
So it's offered. You can do it via BitPay, or you can do it via Coinbase wallet. But there are still fees utilizing those services, and they aren't that much cheaper. But there is BTC Pay, and there are other services that would probably eliminate, my understanding is, would eliminate those fees. Square is, I think, for the next 12 months, whenever they initiated this program, they were going to eliminate the fees as well. So overall, if people were to transact with Bitcoin, it would be wonderful, you know, I mean, just in general for the business. But, you know, there's Gresham's law, and we don't want to, most of us don't want to spend our Bitcoin. So, you know, there are people that are living on a Bitcoin standard, and for those, it's wonderful because it's another place where they can purchase things and not have to worry about using filthy fiat. But yeah.
one day until no more. But until then, you have to persevere.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. We're going to go to another topic. So, Phil, this is like a long one, and you kind of, I think I did a bad job of putting this one together, but I have to give a shout out to this cat that was involved in the post. And this post was from VX Underground. And basically, he talked about the prevailing schizo internet theories that AI nerds have destroyed the internet and created infinite spam. The advertising goons are now incapable of determining who's a bot and who is an actual human. The advertising goons no longer want to pay as much to social media networks. And I want to stop there. And I've had this conversation with people in the past. I want to say maybe I've had it with Phil, maybe I've had it with J-Dub, but it's like we talk about we want privacy, we want anonymity on the internet. However, bots are there. And the internet that we use for free generally, the big services, whether it's Instagram, Telegram, X, all these different things that where you offer your presence to monetize so that the company can monetize you through advertisements, through freemium ad revenue kind of stuff. These ads they're looking at this like, what good is it for me to advertise myself to 500,000 bots that all they want to do is spam people? I want real flesh and blood organic users, or I'm not going to give you any money. And so now it's like, well, the platforms, it's like we want to verify you. We want to give you a blue check. We want to offer you a blue check, so you're not feeling like you're being put into this dystopia, WorldCoin nonsense, right? So, but it's like at the same time, like if we don't do, something's got to give. And Phil, I'm kind of confused. And we have this, tinfoil hat cat wear post, and it's like AI ruined it. I felt like before AI ruined it, the ease to create bots made it so that it's hard for advertisers to justify giving a platform money so that you and I can use it for free. What has to happen? Do we have to have a pay to play platform in order to protect our anonymity, our privacy, or is it just very, KYC forever? What are your thoughts?
It's terrible because when you look at it while we're here, it just seems as though we have no choice and that we had no choice. It almost, right? It's as corny as it is. It's like the Matrix, right? It's like it was always inevitable. Right? Like you're looking at this and it's like, where else would we have ended up? So unfortunately, we're going in that direction. We're going in the direction of having to prove personhood, right? We've talked about this in the past and you can see it right now. So the question is like, how do we get to the ultimate proof of personhood thing where essentially you can't partake in certain systems, you can't like who knows, maybe it has to do with traveling, maybe it has to do with purchasing food, even like all kinds of crazy stuff. But like, what is the catalyst that gets us there? Because right now we've got AI, right? And we've got the iteration of AI that we have. Granted, it's powerful, but I don't think it's nearly, obviously it's nowhere near where it's going to be. And the point being is that once we get there, what does that look like? And are we going to be stuck dealing with some type of a catastrophe? You know what I mean? Like, is that what it's going to be? Like I alluded to this last time that I can't see it any other way. Like what, either it becomes this, I don't know, some type of a major, I don't know, some type of a major food crisis or some type of thing like that. Or what? Right? Like some type of, like it's like a JFK Jr. type of moment, right? Like a JFK moment, right? It's like, is it something like that all of a sudden, like something terrible happens and it turns out that it was completely prompted by like a whole bunch of bots and AI and there's actually no humans involved, like something like that, right? Like I don't know, but I genuinely believe that like KYC was never going to go away. You know, the second it was like, it's like the second it came into existence, like we were not getting rid of it.
Like income tax, kind of like
Yeah.
why would they put that back in the bag?
Yeah, you don't put the genie back in the bottle. Yeah, that's
No.
it. The genie's out.
Humble, like, I mean, and there are some people that would say, I mean, this is obviously, you know, on this dystopian snowball, this KYC, this almost need to KYC. I don't blame them. I don't blame if like I get upset that bots get more interaction on X than me. It's like, what help do I have? Like, I want to compete against real humans rather than these simple to create and increasingly simple to create bots. Do we have to pay to play to get a real world without KYC, or is it just is that just inevitable, or is this even a good request from this original post, Humble?
I mean, I think it is inevitable. Like we have talked about this before, and it's, when you have more bots, more non-humans using the internet than actual humans, it is going to require proof of person, proof of human, whatever they end up calling it. So I think that it's not, I mean, it's pay to play, but it's like we will have to pay to play. We're not going to have access to the internet unless we do. And that's just the way it's going to be. It's going to, we're just inching closer and closer to the people, what is it, the haves and the have-nots. Yeah. So this is just part of that story unfolding. And I think we all see it happening, and it's a matter of time. We don't know when, but I completely believe that some, I guess what you had said, Phil, JFK moment, but some catastrophic event will happen, and there's not going to be a human to blame.
And then
but it may be human motive, it may be a human behind it, right? But it's like you can't do anything about it because it was an AI agent. And so I feel like it's kind of like this playground right now that we're in. And it's like we're being exposed. We, as in the small circle of people that are really on X, because you go outside of that and nobody knows what these AI agents are. They just have absolutely no idea. So I guess with that being said, it will take more time, because if we're exposed to it and we're like, oh my gosh, it could happen at any time, they really need to expose the normies to what AI agents are fully capable of, so that they can then believe the narrative of, oh yeah, the AI agents took down the financial system, and whatever it is. We can only hope they take down the financial system, but
it's amazing. I mean, it's scary, but
build their own prison.
Yeah.
Financial
well
prison.
said. Look, I want to talk about this, and I gotta admit that is when I saw this, I'm like, we collectively, the world, have talked about this before. Somehow, like back in 2023 or last year, someone was talking about it's probably during the election time frame. They were talking about Barron Trump and 1900 and time traveler and Tesla, and it's like, and I was too busy looking at the Bitcoin price going through a crab, so I didn't pay much attention to this. But essentially, Trump has been claimed to be a time traveler, not just in the depths of the internet. The New York Post, the Daily Mail, and not to say that they don't have some fudge stories here or there, but it's not. It kind of has some legs if these types of people are posting it. And so, we can zoom in a little bit to get some text in here. Mysterious Trump airship appearing in a 100-year-old sketchbook sparks time traveler theories. This insider paper says a wild theory suggests, and it's funny, they purport this like this was just the latest and greatest news. And people in the comments were saying, we talked about this 3 years ago. So it's kind of funny how, the news cycles, try to tell you that this is actually news, where it's more like olds. But Humble, this is kind of a interesting topic that you're going to talk about on Deep Underground, and you have a video for us to watch, I believe.
I do.
Right on. Okay. Well,
all right. Let's.
How do we
dive right into it?
I see it in the stack of media. So if we just push that,
well, what we're going to do is I'm gonna, well, no, see, because I think we're still gonna be stuck behind it. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna remove all of us, and we're gonna quickly show this video. Okay.
For the first time, you're going to remove me from Bitcoin tonight.
I know
feel
it's
Happening.
So this is for our audience. Pay attention. So
Pay
you guys
attention.
keep
Do
up,
your take
okay?
notes. Take
Yes.
notes.
Okay, here we go.
Is Donald Trump a time traveler? This wild conspiracy theory is exploding across X right now, blending century-old artifacts, eerie literary prophecies, family secrets, scientific theories, and even a Bitcoin twist that feels straight out of a sci-fi thriller. Buckle up as we unpack the high-level overview, enough to hook you, but trust me, the live deep dive reveals even wilder layers. Let's break it down. First, the viral spark. Back in the late 1800s, Prussian-born artist Charles Delshaw, a butcher by day and outsider artist by night, filled private sketchbooks with fantastical arrows, these steampunk hybrids of balloons, airships, and early airplanes. These were discovered decades later in a Houston junk shop. These intricate drawings depict machines powered by a fictional anti-gravity liquid called NB gas, or soap, a glowing green substance that defies physics. More about that later. But here's the jaw dropper. Multiple sketches are boldly labeled Trump or Aero Trump. One shows a golden-haired figure piloting a craft marked 45. Another references 47. With Trump as the 45th and now 47th president, theorists are screaming prophecy. These weren't public until recently, and articles from the New York Post and Daily Mail on March 13th to 14th, 2026 sent them viral. Is it coincidence, apophenia, that's our brain's love for patterns, or something more? Delshaw tied them to a secret Sonora Aero Club from the 1850s California gold rush, adding a layer of hidden history that begs for exploration. Later on, the literary bombshell. In the 1890s, lawyer Ingersoll Lockwood penned a series of children's books like Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger, and Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. The protagonist, a precocious boy named Baron Trump, living in the opulent Castle Trump, guided by a wise mentor simply called Don. Their escapades take them to Russia and bizarre underground worlds filled with giants and wonders. Then comes Lockwood's 1896 political satire, 1900 or The Last President, depicting chaotic New York City election riots erupting on Fifth Avenue, precisely where Trump Tower now stands, with mobs, anarchists, and a cabinet selection that eerily parallels Mike Pence. The Trump family mottos in the books. It's crazy. The pathway to glory is strewn with pitfalls and dangers. Indeed it is. Side-by-side comparisons with real-life Donald Trump have flooded social media, though his granddaughter Kai dismissed it all on a podcast. These public domain books resurfaced big in 2017, and they're blowing up again. They're free on archive.org if you want to read them yourself. So, how could a forgotten author predict so much? Now, the family and tech connections that fuel this fire. Donald Trump has repeatedly said, "I know things that other people don't know," hinting at insider knowledge. His uncle, Dr. John G. Trump, who happened to be an MIT professor and electrical engineer, was tasked by the FBI in 1943 to review Nikola Tesla's seized papers after the inventor's death. Official reports called Tesla's ideas speculative, with no practical value, but conspiracy circles insist exotic technologies like free energy or even time manipulation were hidden and passed down the family line. Trump has shared stories about his uncle's nuclear and Tesla insights, and he's promised major disclosures on UAPs, the unidentified anomalous phenomenon, aka UFOs. Delshaw's NB gas sounds suspiciously like the exotic propulsion described in modern UFO whistleblower testimonies. add a 2025 White House science advisor statement about U.S. tech that can manipulate time and space, meant metaphorically for efficiency, but still. And you've got rocket fuel for theorists. Here's the fresh Bitcoin angle that's got Bitcoin and crypto enthusiasts buzzing. In March 2025, Trump signed an executive order establishing the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, America's first sovereign Bitcoin stockpile, using around 200,000 Bitcoin already seized by the government as a national asset, never to be sold, akin to a digital Fort Knox. This positions the U.S. to counter China's dominance and hedge against fiat currency collapse. Barron Trump, often seen as a tech-savvy heir, has been involved in family crypto ventures and wallets for years. Theorists link this to Tesla's visionary free energy concepts, suggesting Trump used future knowledge to ensure sustainable Bitcoin mining and make America the global crypto leader. Even Binance's CZ once joked about Satoshi Nakamoto being an AI from the future. Time travel vibes much? With meme coins like Baron Time Traveler popping up on Solana, this overlap is turning heads. And finally, the science behind it all. Forward time travel is proven fact. Einstein's theory of relativity shows time slows at high speeds or in strong gravity. In fact, astronauts on the International Space Station age slightly slower than us on Earth, and GPS satellites account for it daily. Backward time travel? Well, that's where it gets theoretical. General relativity allows for wormholes, Einstein-Rosen bridges, or closed time-like curves in rotating universes, but you'd need exotic matter with negative energy to keep them stable and open. A 2020 paper in Classical and Quantum Gravity argued it's mathematically possible without creating paradoxes. Yet, Stephen Hawking's chronology protection conjecture posits quantum effects would destroy any time machine before it forms, famously quipping, "The best evidence that time travel is impossible is that we haven't been invaded by hordes of tourists from the future." That we know of, right? No credible lab evidence exists. CERN rumors are missed, but if advanced propulsion like MB gas or real UAP tech is out there, who knows what timelines could be tweaked? So, is this all cosmic coincidence, elaborate hoax, or a genuine timeline hop? From 1890s airship waves to modern X memes, the Trump time traveler saga is a rabbit hole of history, science, and speculation. Now, get your tinfoil hats ready, because tonight we're going deep underground. Don't miss our live segment with Pleb Underground on Bitcoin Tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there.
Gosh, Phil looked like someone. He looked like a dude that I
You're
used to
muted,
watch
Phil.
on something. I can't unmute Phil. There you
Unmute.
go.
There we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
I remember
Yeah.
who. Gosh, he looked a whole
like
lot.
It's like this comic guy that I've seen before. As soon as I saw this glasses, I'm like, I recognize this guy.
Yeah,
You know what?
And him.
I
and
was
that's too
like,
much hair for me. We have to take the dreadlocks algorithm off of Sir Ulric.
doggone it.
Oh my
wish.
god, yeah. Seriously,
I
Humble.
thought it did a pretty good.
Fantastic video.
Oh,
Great
thank you.
video.
Amazing. Seriously. There is a whole lot to unravel there, huh? There is. I don't even know where you want to begin. Do we go all the way back to what's his name, Ingersoll? Do we start all the way back there, the lawyer that wrote the books, or where? How do you want to start this? Do you want to start with, do we believe that time travel is real or not? Like,
I really want a time travel expert to talk to us about this, right? I mean, it's so crazy to me.
who can we get that's a time travel expert?
Is anyone in the group chat a time travel expert?
Come on up.
You know, we have Iran war experts. We have what is it called? what do we call tariff experts all throughout the years. We got to have one. We got to have one time travel expert.
I know.
And
You know,
we don't.
Wicked, he's got some, you know, astronomical knowledge. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, because you've talked about stuff, and he says that NASA likes to mess with us. And I didn't know that. You know, like some of these crazy pictures you see, he's like, yeah, they're just messing with you guys half the time. And I think he has inside knowledge on that, but I don't know.
I want to ask you about this, and we have this in some more of the show notes. Let me remove that guy right there. So I'm going to pull up.
There we go.
This right here. Humble, talk to us about this numerology that some.
Oh my gosh.
XRP XLM shills have been putting together.
This is how you know it's all garbage right away. You just debunked Humble's amazing video in one screenshot. Oh my God, is he a time traveler? There's got to be some truth to this. And XRP.
I know.
And we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
I know. I mean, it is what it is. You can read it. I mean, that's basically it. You read it and you're like, stop it. Go away, XRP. Damn it. Like, we're trying to like
45, 9, 47,
tinfoil hats
11.
on here and understand this. And here you guys go trying to like claim it. Like,
so 9/11. So what does 9/11 have to do with the 1893? Oh no, that's 93 novel protagonist named Baron. So that's just another bullet point. 1923 illustration. Trump plus 47 appeared together. That has Trump plus 47, right? 2025, 47th. Yeah, the name, the number, the date, all coded 100 years ago. So the XRP 2018 anonymous Ripple insider bearable guy 123. What did he say? Left one number 589 Hebrew gematria.
Yeah.
Gematria 589. A storm is coming 589. Cobalt atomic weight 589.
What?
589 equals Trump storm XRP same code. Why is Donald Trump equal 589?
It's because they can't do math, okay? And they just put numbers together. Just multiply the amount of Ripple that there will ever be, okay, by $589, and then you're done. Okay, like it's all
answer.
It's all such nonsense.
You know, gematria is very.
This is how they ruin things.
It's very, very interesting. There's I think 3 or 4 different gematria like ways. I don't. Yes. Okay. So and you definitely know more about this, Coinicarus, because like what was it? I think there was a deep dive that I did with one of the shootings. And I was like, oh my gosh, because there was like this name that kept on being brought up. Like it was, I forgot the term for it, but it was a name that they were using. It was like a handle. So every single shooting that would occur, you would see these comments that would pop up and it would be this name, the exact same name for every single shooting in the past like couple of years. And I'm like, well, this is so strange. Like, why did they do that? And then I did this gematria thing and I presented it and I made a post about it. And I think you just like laughed at gematria. So explain a little bit about gematria and why, even though it's like so cool that we can like get AIs to be like, dude, put it all together for me. And like, it will spit out all this amazing stuff. And you're like, I knew it. I knew there was something to this, but then you ruin it. So like what?
Well, so I mean, this kind of goes back to your point about the apophenia, right? So there's that aspect of it where we essentially find, I mean, number one, our brains are wired in that way so that we look for patterns. But I just want to start off by saying, like, I'm not an expert in this or anything like that. I just love to read about this kind of stuff because I find it super interesting, especially numbers. I've told Ulric about my whole thing of, so there's the number 23. There's also, which is the movie, right, by Jim Carrey, but people don't realize that like that stems from the Discordian belief of the law of fives. Okay, so there's a whole lot of rabbit holes when it comes to different variations of numerology, but when it comes to gematria, right? So you've got the letter sequences that equal certain numbers or certain numbers that equal certain letter sequences. And then, of course, you also have the words that add up, right, to specific numbers. And those numbers align with different words in the Hebrew language. So essentially what mystics, right? Because these are not like, it's not like Torah scholars or something like that. Like these are mystics, right? Like these are guys that even the general traditional religious people per se, like they frown upon this, right? Because in a way it's a form of future scrying, future seeing,
occultism.
occult. That's right. Hidden.
It's not
right?
the Torah,
And
it's
that's
not Genesis, Exodus,
exactly.
Leviticus. It's beyond that, right?
It's you're like extrapolating at exactly. You know what I mean? Like you're reaching out to the stars, so to speak. But the sorry, I was going off on a tangent there. Going off,
which is sort of like, I mean, a lot of New Testament or apocrypha. Yeah, it's like, they have other books that didn't really make the cut for the Bible, like the book of Enoch or the Gospel according to Thomas. And so it's like these other books, I guess they have a little bit more fringe stuff, like, oh, what are they talking about there? And so people take very much interest in them. Well, why weren't they included? And so then they go down those rabbit holes of those books, as opposed to kind of the ones that I guess the experts back in the day kind of said this is the canon, if you will.
And keep in mind, right, if you decide to go down those rabbit holes of reading the mystic texts that the more mystically inclined chose to go down, you can kind of understand why they were hidden from the mainstream person, right, from the average person. And it's because there's a certain level of understanding that most people don't have. And you can actually see what ends up happening to some people who end up reading these things and end up severely misunderstanding them, right? A lot of these people, believe it or not, they do become, I know it sounds crazy, but you end up falling along the lines of extremism and stuff like that. But going back to the point of gematria, right, is that you get all these different sequences. And essentially there's what is termed like the Bible code, right, where essentially these sequences are telling the future. Now, again, there's books written about this where supposedly JFK's assassination was written there, and it was found in gematria, right? Like looking through the Torah, because that's the other thing that they do, right? They open, right? You open the Bible and you ascribe these numbers to the words in the Bible, and then you find other words that are relating to that, and that's one of the methods that is used. And there was other, I can't think of them right now, but there were other events as well that were found. And it's just, I don't know if I necessarily like, again, this is where we go back to the apophenia point of, was that real? Right? Like, was that really real, or is it just a bunch of extrapolation and kind of like some reaching? Because it's not exact, right? You'll notice that all these things, right? It's never exact. It's the same thing as like when you go see a fortune teller, right? Like they can't give you something exact. It's always vague and roundabout. And it's because, again, it's going to sound mean, it's kind of part of the hoax, right? Now, again, it doesn't mean that like, because it's not always entirely exact, that you shouldn't look at this stuff or you shouldn't be interested in this stuff. But it just means that like every time you see these kinds of things, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like you definitely do. And there's one point I wanted to make about the time travel stuff. Okay. And it's that I've said this 1,000 times. This is always my stance on time travel. If time travel existed, it would have always existed. It's plain and simple.
That's the big paradox.
And the other thing about Trump being a time traveler, okay, if he was a time traveler, how did he fuck up so much in his businesses? Like he would have known all of those moves. Why did he screw up? He's from the future.
Phil, could he have been veiled where he doesn't get all the information? And by the way, is he actually from the future, or is he just a present day person that went to the past?
Oh yeah. Okay. So, but then again, right? If he is a present day person and he went to the past, guess what? That would mean that time travel has always existed.
Or it's only existed since, let's just say 2000, maybe. Like, so it's like, because like right now, I mean, I guess maybe based on this stuff, it looks like time travel is easier to go into the future than the past. So the past is the big barrier. So if he could go into the past, he could go into the future and therefore see what's winning. That's why he makes the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Hello. But
Okay, hold on. The strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? Okay, so that's the other thing. So how do we equate, right? Like that Tesla portion. So like all they did was make a bunch of shit coins. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? Like Tesla gave the world free energy.
right.
Sorry?
So far.
No. You think it gets better?
The story is still unfolding.
You know, Satoshi, before he made Bitcoin, he made Litecoin. You know.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of Tesla, like what is real? Like I think it's pretty verifiable that Fred Trump, who's Donald Trump's uncle, had a relationship with Nikola Tesla. Is that pretty verifiable, or is it John Trump or Fred Trump who had a relationship with Tesla?
It was Fred Trump was given the files.
Fred Trump was giving the Tesla files. How long has he had them?
I don't know how long he's. I mean, he's not alive anymore, right?
Yeah,
so I mean, so he was given, like, he worked with MIT, and so that's how he was given that information. But it's like, what happened to the files after that? That's what I don't know. I mean, that's like another deep dive. That's like another rabbit hole to go down.
When did Tesla die? Like, was Tesla around in the 40s?
I
I got to look up all this stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me a second.
That's part of it.
1943, January 7th.
We're just
okay. So that coincides. So he didn't have some ancient text
looking stuff up live.
Yeah,
he didn't have some old stuff. So he inherited Nikola Tesla's files. Was he friends with them, or did MIT grab them and then he was associated with MIT? Like, who got the files first?
What I know is it's just through MIT. It was just through MIT. I don't know that he was like friends with them.
Yeah. That's
so Verhoofdy saying JP Morgan funded Tesla's Wardenclyffe project, I believe. And I think to your point, right? Didn't JP Morgan also help out Thomas Edison? Like he was hedging both sides. I'm almost 100% sure.
So JP Morgan is a time traveler too.
They're not time travelers. There's no time travel. Because look, think about it, right? You think of how narcissistic. All right. This is what I imagine. Think of how narcissistic Donald Trump is, right? Imagine he was a time traveler. This guy would come back to be so pristine. Okay. Like there's no way he would let he'd be everybody's favorite. I just don't buy that he would just be who he is now if he was genuinely a time traveler. That's my whole thing. I think he's too narcissistic. What, that he's not a time traveler?
No, that he's playing.
He's this bumbling fool. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, playing a fool. Could he be playing a fool? I mean, a lot of people we claim
people
that all these presidents are, they're, hey, these people aren't actors. That, like, if Hillary Clinton is really, cutting people down left and right, she has to be a pretty good actor to hold out, where all the bodies are, buried, so it's like, if they can act in the sort of plausible deniability, maybe Donald Trump can play the orange man clown, where he's really, the most, a superhero time traveler. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I thought I was coming into this with all the negative points. I'm playing there's a point here.
Actually,
I'm surprising myself. It was a great video, Humble.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm here to convince you. No, I mean, if you think about let's see, Back to the Future, right? Back to the Future. If you go back in time, right, you cannot manipulate certain things, right? You remember when that picture started disappearing and so I mean, maybe there's only so much he can do.
So I mean, does he know that? Does he kind of have his boundaries of what he can and can't do, so he knows not to?
You think he knows? You think he knows that?
Maybe his.
I think we're giving way too much credit here. Huh?
He knows things.
Maybe the group that he's working with. I mean, he's not just going off on his own. He's not acting unilaterally. Surely there's a deep state connection that's enabling him to do that. But the catch is, for what purpose? Like, why not just win now? It's that's the weird part about it. I don't understand why he just wouldn't win now and being
Because
done with it.
you have to get the people to see the evil. You have to let everything unfold. And the only way that's going to happen is with bad stuff happening. And then people are going to be like, what is going on? And then eventually they find what the source of that is.
See, this is also true here. The butterfly effect. Sorry.
Like
Butterfly.
how do you figure?
Well, because right when you make a change, right, it ripples out into time, right, across time and space, and you don't know how any of it affects. So it's like the smallest little change could have like a total ripple effect, right, into and then like end up destroying something in the future that you don't even know yet. So there's that aspect of it. And hold on a second. Rourke is asking a question. He's saying, is it time travel if you're exploring an alternate universe? Yes. I'm going to say it is time travel.
You think so?
Because the time in the other universe doesn't necessarily correlate to our time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of think that is a form
it's
of
hard
time
enough
travel.
to get into the.
But do you think in an alternate universe, Trump didn't screw up that much? Like his businesses and stuff, and was like amazing?
Is it an alternative universe
I don't know.
or another timeline that's, because they're exploring all of that now too. Like this whole idea of this, all happening. What is it? The
holographic universe?
No,
Right.
just like things happening, like whatever is happening here is happening someplace else simultaneously. And we could have like these timelines that are just there.
Oh, alternate timelines.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
By the way,
Bizarro World.
I don't want to deviate too much, but J-Dub did say something kind of
What did he
important. Bitcoin is continuing to pump. So it
What?
did.
We're pumping?
I do believe it hit 76. Maybe it fell
Oh,
back.
wow. Yeah, 76. Look at us.
Look at that.
No, sorry. 75,966.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Well, we're coming up close to that first level of resistance there. So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not holding my
angles
breath.
in 7 days, 10%.
Good, though.
That's pretty nice. But anyways, back to hey, maybe the less we talk about Bitcoin, if we close our eyes and pretend it's not there, it will say, "Hey, look at me, look at me." I think
Is that what it is? It's like
you think that's what's happening?
Me
either that or Blood Moon tonight, one or the other. What
is it
happened?
another
What
I
happened
mean,
2
I
weeks
thought that
ago?
wasn't happening again for a
I
while.
called it.
Okay.
But hold on.
By the way, number 23. What famous basketball players number 23? Anybody know?
Michael Jordan.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And of course, right, same initials as Michael Jackson, right? All these MJs, right? Magic Johnson.
What's
as
MJ?
well.
What's MJ
Right?
on the
Weird, right? All these MJs.
So strange.
I know.
Wait, the MJ. Who's the MJ here?
There's no
Oh,
MJ.
we'll find one.
Find one, and he'll become our
Does it have
token
to do with
MJ.
with the numbering, with the
Anybody? Will the real MJ stand up, please?
the gematria? What is the gematria for Michael?
Oh, then we'd have to go add that up. So you got to
Don't
you got to
look
figure
at it
out
right
what Michael is in Hebrew, right? And then you got to go get and of course, every single letter has a numerical value. And then we got to do the thing. It takes time. That takes too much. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
learned
what
some
if
words
the
today.
Bitcoin price right now in gematria has something to do with Trump? What if we figured that out? I think that would be amazing.
Well, I learned
You're not gonna figure
gematria and I learned the word apophenia. I never knew that word, and now and it's like, oh wow, seeing patterns where none exists. I'm trying to every word that I hear, I try to say, what does that mean? So apophenia and gematria. I'm getting smarter. I want to go back to the people that we see. We see Trump. We see the orange. Let me see if I could pull up some pictures here. I'm going to make us small for a minute, and let's see if I can pull up something. I mean, so like his face right there, it's like with a face to the bottom right, making that face, and you see the face in the almost hieroglyphic like carpet is like it's Donald Trump there, obviously, right? But Mike, we've seen some other, as you peruse Facebook or Instagram like over the years, and maybe this trend is over, but I've seen Jay-Z like 100 years ago. I've seen Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I've seen all these like old people or these current celebrities. And I gotta say, and this was before, like, and mind you, it's not obviously not before deep fake, but this was before AI was prominent. I'm seeing this in 2019 and 2018, and I'm like, that definitely does look like Jay-Z to me. That looks like, that football player I know. Could it possibly be that, we're just always looking for people that, and of course the word Trump is there, but there's something about finding familiarity with an old picture. And it's like that person looks like that person, and once you see it, you almost can't unsee it. I don't know.
Right.
I find that interesting as well. And
It
so
is
there's
interesting.
been conspiracies where Jay-Z is a time traveler and Morgan Freeman's a time traveler.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting to me is that you can look at some of these people, and I mean, you know my son, and you met him in Nashville,
Instagram
and
friends. Yep.
yeah. So the attention that he gets because he looks like identical. Like, I mean, I've seen pictures of this guy that he's the bear, or he played. It was some
Oh,
show. Remember? I don't
yeah.
know.
I never watched that show, but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Huh.
There are these pictures, and like my son he's like, well, I get it all the time, because we kept on getting stopped, and they're like, dude, are you, or you look just like this guy? And it's just like, okay, people are not, I mean, this is weird. This is so weird. And so he showed me pictures, and I'm like, what? like your smile, your manners, like everything is almost identical. It's crazy. And I mean, what I'm saying is my husband's not famous. This guy happens to be. But I wonder if we all have, these people that kind of
Doppelganger.
like, or yeah, doppelganger, exactly.
100%.
Have you ever seen I mean, look up Hollywood doppelgangers, and you'll see current Hollywood actors and musicians that just look like they could be twins. Like they look closer to each other than me and my brother. But it's like they come from completely different walks of life. Another conspiracy could be that that's where cloning comes in. But you have Hollywood actors from multiple generations where they look like someone from 30 years ago, or people who are just right now. I mean, one example is Zooey Deschanel and Katy Perry. Like they really do have that same look. Maybe it's a haircut twist, because we always see them with their bangs or whatnot. But I looked at them like, it's like the same person. People have said Brad Pitt and what's his name, who's the Hispanic guy that does he was in Sicario. You guys know what I'm talking about? Sicario actor.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know who the actor is.
Sicario actor. It's Benicio del Toro. So there have been pictures where they put them side by side, and they have, especially more so as Brad Pitt got older, of course, but they have very similar features. So,
so the actor is Jeremy Allen White. That's who my son looks like.
Okay,
Jeremy
let me
Allen,
look him up.
the bear, Jeremy Allen White.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, look at it.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at I have to go back and look at your son on Facebook, but like I haven't seen him now in 2 years.
Definitely not like the black and white one that's showing up. Like I just Googled it. That's definitely not. No. But like there are these, it's
colored
like
pictures,
mannerisms, and these other pictures that I've seen, like some of the older pictures. It's just crazy. Like there's one where it's like Jeremy Allen White through the years. That is my son. Like I swear to, it's crazy. Like when he doesn't have an expression on his face, that's like my son.
Is there a possibility, Humble, that we go into maybe like a list of all these Hollywood clones, aka doppelgangers, and just go into the maybe it's a tangent to cloning and where that technology is? Because I don't know. I mean, Hollywood, they just had their Oscars last night, and I tell you that that's normie central. These people are worshipped. It can be, I've seen some parallels with regards to, fallen angels, demons, where we say that
that's all it is. That's
like
all Hollywood is.
Think about this one. So what did the guy in the wheelchair say? Like, oh, if time travelers were here, what's his name again?
Isn't it Stephen Hawking?
Stephen Hawking. He said, if time travelers were here, we would be exposed to a plethora of them. And then you said, Humble, if they want to be seen or to something of that nature. So with regards to fallen angels per se, like, in the book of Job, where it talked about how all these fallen angels followed Satan down, out of heaven, because Satan wanted to be worshipped like God. And so these fallen angels said, like, oh yeah, well, we want to be worshipped too. We're going to ally with Lucifer and rebel against God. So they're cast out of heaven, but they still keep that desire, which is to be worshipped. And so therefore, now you say, well, what's the modern way that we see this worship play out? We see these idols in sports. We see these idols in Hollywood. We see these idols in music. And it's just kind of weird. And maybe because, maybe more apophenia, if that's the word, but it's like, we see all these actors, and I understand maybe there's just only so many ways to cut a Hollywood desirable face. But when you see the Brad Pitts, the Katy Perrys, all these different people, the Margot Robbie looks like someone that they were talking about in the group chat. But it's like, maybe these people could be some sort of relationship to these demons that are getting what they wanted in heaven and they couldn't, so they get it on earth, which is essentially adoration and worship.
No, it's 100% what's happening. I mean, Hollywood, you have actors and actresses that, they're coming out and they're talking about, of course.
I can agree with this for Hoopy. But continue, Humble.
Yes. So they speak about these rituals, and of course, if you're keeping up with the Epstein stuff, you're aware of these satanic rituals that they are doing, and we won't go into great detail here because it's not that deep dive tonight. But there's just so many things that are now coming out, and again, it's interesting because we hear about it in the circles that we're in, and that's like on X. Some people are paying attention to it. Some people are like, oh, as soon as people are talking too much about it, I don't want to listen to it. And so they mute it. But like Hollywood. So what are wands made out of?
What are what made of?
Wands, like
magic wands?
Yeah.
They're
made out of Hollywood, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were made out of what Harry Potter has all kinds of different wood. Oh wait, that's just Harry Potter.
That's Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah, but pretty sure his are made out of it too. Not the ones you get like at the actual store, because
so the real hey, this is how we're going to do some super nasty dark magic. They go for Hollywood. Interesting. I never knew that.
That is my understanding based on the little rabbit holes that I've gone down for that. But yeah, to think. I don't know. We're kind of going down like another rabbit hole now.
This is what happens. It's time travel.
There's so many rabbit holes.
Because,
oh my God.
It's all wrapped up in conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah,
so it's like you can't help. Right?
Yeah.
Like
And we're not going to ruin the time travel thing quite yet. But yeah, it's Hollywood. So this is what I think about. What I think about with Hollywood and actors, like they've had their time, right? Like, but okay, so if we're thinking about, this is like really weird. So if we're thinking about Hollywood and we're thinking about these actors and these actresses that are being worshipped because they are, and then we're keeping that to an altar, which it is, right? Like Baal and all these, whatever ones they decide.
Right.
I think it's Baal.
I live out here. There's a lot of weird statues that are at the studios that very much look like ancient Babylonian icons. Right. Like it's crazy. The movie that Margot Robbie played in, which was really, really interesting and good, but still like kind of. Oh, I'm sorry, Humble. I have to cut you off right here because Babylon, by the way, Hollywood is called Babylon. That's the nickname.
Yeah.
Great movie. At the end of the movie, I swear they're trying to brainwash us. Like 2 minutes of all this epileptic like flashing and like weird hypnotic stuff. And I'm like, what are they trying to do here? What's going on? Anyone who's seen Babylon, just if you don't care about the movie, just on Netflix or whatever, fast forward to the last 5 minutes of the movie, and you're thinking that now you're thinking that they're going to say, now you're part of us. It's really freaky. Like, be cautious when you're watching certain things. That's a weird one. But yeah, you're right. Like, Hollywood has a lot of weird iconographs, and they have a certain way of believing and living.
So
They do.
the other weird thing about that is that, you know, when you think about it, right? Like, so if you were to imagine a place, right, on, let's say in America, where you would have demonic type of energies, that would be the perfect place. Las
Where they
Vegas,
impact everyone.
right? Where there's gambling and stuff like that, right? Like where the vices are,
Yeah.
right? And when you take a look at that, right? Like the vice of, you know, essentially of pride and, you know, like self-love and whatnot, and it's just like that's the perfect place. Like these, you know, I shouldn't say these people, but a lot of people that go there, right? They desire this adoration, right? Out of whatever it is, right? Like this emptiness or something like that. And, you know, there's unfortunately, you know, people, I guess, like, I'm going to sound like a dick, but just people aren't that smart, you know? So they're going to sit there and they're going to make deals, right? With entities, the devil, right? For the lack of a better term, like they're going to make deals, right? They
sell themselves out to an agent,
exactly,
to an
anything.
agency. Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
I do. This goes back to the point of doing what it takes to get ahead, right? Like it's, you know, like when you look at somebody in a very, like when you look at, let's say, Brad Pitt or something like that, and you say, man, you know, like I wish I had, you know, what he had, and I was doing what he was doing. But the question is, are you willing to make the same sacrifice as
Correct.
him? You don't know what those sacrifices are, right? So
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, are you willing to become the person that you quote unquote need to be?
Because all
Get
you see is the
I don't know.
you see is the mask. You know, you don't and guess what? That's not saying that all of them are
No.
effed up, but the culture, I mean, you've seen enough people that have cried out in protest and that person went crazy. You know, you gotta wonder, you know, how many of them actually did go crazy? How many of them are portrayed as such in order to deflect from the nature of the beast that is that world? I mean, and ACP said, what about Washington DC? Look, these are nodes for control. Like, who's to say, like, when you have Hollywood for entertainment, you have Washington DC for politics, you have New York. Someone just who said just Hollywood and LA get all the attention, but I think most of the demons are in NYC. When you think of Wall Street, okay, the money.
Right.
So it's like you have these nodes of influence. You have the money, the stardom, and the politics, and you have the center of the world who run, and it's run by the dollar system. It's hard to get in. Once you're in, you've seen that it's hard to get out. And if you get out, you're portrayed as lost, crazy, a failure. It's very, very frightening. Another parallel to, you know, the star. What did the fallen demons? The fallen demons, you could say that they fell from the heavens, and that they were stars. And it's funny because what do you call famous people in Hollywood and entertainment? You call them stars. And what do you see when you walk in Hollywood? You see a walk of fame where their names are immortalized in the streets on stars. So it's like the parallels between, you know, where, you know, this demonic influence came from and where it wanted to be lauded in the way that demons wanted to be lauded. It's hard to not see those types of conspiratorial feelings in a place like that. And mind you, we have gone so far away from the time traveling thing. I think we owe a full episode for Hollywood. That's definitely.
I think that's our next one at this
Yeah,
point. Oh my
seriously.
gosh. It's like,
No, we
yeah,
should. We absolutely should. The next one should be all about that because there's so much. There's even the studios, the symbolism, and all of that. Like,
and the
trust me,
concerts.
we're not going to have
and-
anything Bitcoin on
yeah,
that one.
where
That,
the
'cause
demons
that's gonna take an
inhabit
hour and
the
a half.
artist's body.
we could.
I mean, it's just crazy. It's
How about
crazy.
we'll just say the word Bitcoin at the beginning of the episode for the sake of it. We'll just do like the influencers do, right? We'll say the magic word. Bitcoin.
That's what they do.
Boom.
Hey,
Yeah.
buy my product, right? I mean,
I'm rich. I said the word Bitcoin. Let's get this shit on the road.
what are the influencers following if not the politics, the Wall Street, the people and the entertainers? Like, I think us as Bitcoin, look, we take nuances from that. Again, we want to be successful. We understand there's a part of marketing that Hollywood gets right. It's not just magic. Like, they are keying into something that they understand about humanity. The same thing with Vegas, the same thing with politics. What makes politics so enthralling that people want to be just associated with a senator? But like, I feel like we can take, as Bitcoiners, as good people who are looking to find truth and goodness in the world, I think we can pull from those things. And just like Hollywood uses tools of the microphone or the camera to brainwash you, we're trying to do our best to kind of empower, our audience to kind of question those types of things and to be armored to resist them, because it's easy to fall into the trap of these influencers that are saying, oh, they're saying the right things and they have the right people and there's stars that are associated with them, so we should follow them. It's like, what does that sound like? It sounds like Hollywood. It's just your own version of it. It's your Bitcoin Hollywood. It's your Bitcoin Washington, D.C. And sometimes they don't even try to separate. It's like Bitcoin and the government coincided, collaborative. It's like, we don't need that. Bitcoin and Wall Street, right? So I don't know. I think we're doing the right thing, but I just wish more Bitcoiners would wake up to that and try to do things in a proper protest or a proper state, avoid that type of stuff, because we've been down that path. It's obvious it doesn't work.
Yeah, people who think critically are less likely to just hop on your team with with like a shallow, easy narrative. So it's not really, people who desire to be leaders, right? Like they don't desire to have peers that think critically at their level. They desire followers. That's right, because they desire to lead. But going back to the whole thing about ACP said, yes, intellectual self-defense. So I'm going to use this opportunity here that we're talking about this, about, thinking critically and empowering ourselves. There's a really great book that I read that I recommend all the time. It's called The Elephant in the Brain. And it's just essentially about all of these concepts like apophenia. Right? Where, if you don't understand the mechanisms that your brain is doing, then you don't understand why your brain is thinking the thoughts that it's thinking or how it's framing things for you. And as a result, you're almost like a blind person in your own head. And in fairness, right, that is incredibly desirable to people who desire power and control and the government apparatus, right? Like, that's fantastic, right? So if you don't pay any attention to that, but you fill your head with just, getting a bunch of diplomas so that you could be really useful to the system and everything like that, it's fantastic because you're a useful idiot, right? You're super smart. You're well educated. They can't pull you, right? They can't pull the wool over your eyes. Look at how smart you are. But yet,
so you won't
most people don't understand about those blind spots that every single one of us as a human being has inherently in our minds.
Right. And when we talked about doing this episode, it was this idea behind Bitcoiners being able to look at things differently, because we do. It's the orange pill, it's the red, it's whatever you want to call it, but our eyes were opened when we found Bitcoin, because we had to understand the way the world worked, how it is working, how it has worked, what we were told And what we
Mhm.
now know is not true. And the fact that we can come together and talk about these different perspectives on things, and of course, talk about something so crazy as time travel, which we deviated from, but it's because there's just so much to talk about and so many lies we've been told and so many things where now we can look at the world and our eyes are open. And the nice thing about being together is that we do have some of that knowledge, a lot of rabbit holes, not in-depth knowledge on each one of these rabbit holes, but the fact that we can get together and discuss these things and then keep each other in check so that that apophenia does not get out of hand, right? Because it's like, well,
Mhm.
it is easy to just be like, well, this and this and you know, everything adds up, and then you're just totally. And I think we do a good job. And I'll say, you know, most of us probably do a good job of keeping ourselves in check, because there are so many of these things that you can go down and you can just really get very depressed and upset because you're just like, wow, this is awful, right?
Mhm.
But we're here for each other, and I think having a platform and being here with Pleb Underground, being here with all of you in the audience to discuss these things, that's the whole idea, is to be able to have this opportunity to discuss some crazy conspiracy theories and tinfoil hat stuff, and really try to understand, you know, get a little bit of additional history on some things. And there is definitely more to the time travel story. There was a lot of stuff that was happening back then that's happening now, you know? And so the fact that you can see a correlation between what was
Mhm.
happening back then and now, it's like, it's not just the fact that kind of looks like him, same
Mm.
name, but there were a lot of things, you know, like Don meant something. It wasn't, you know, and
It
Baron
was
meant,
like a lord, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was
so
nobility. Yeah.
yeah.
That was, yeah.
And so there was gold and silver, you know, like the, the gold standard and silver standard. I mean, there were all these things. It's very, I'll probably do another video because it is very interesting to
I don't think
tie
that
monetary
any,
history. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think any of these topics can be fleshed out in 45 minutes or 30
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
no.
So
No.
it's
It's like
good
part
that we,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have a question, and I think this is more
Mm.
just general question on the overall topic. You know, like I said when we first introduced it, they were talking about this in 23, you know, 24, when Trump was coming, he's back, you know, and it's like, so all types of stories were coming out about him, including this time travel theory. My question is, why is it popping up now? What are you guys' thoughts on why it's in the news cycles now? Because Humble, you didn't just like go dig this up. This was New York Post on March 13th. You know,
Yeah.
why
I
now?
mean, this was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
TikTok was
exactly.
all about it. There was so
Mhm.
much on TikTok about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I think, because I was a little put off by it too. I was like, you guys, man, you know what? Mainstream media picks it up now, even though it's been out forever.
Right.
But the I
Always.
think the new addition to it, like, it is the artwork from what is it, Bouchard?
Mm.
What's the guy's
Duchel.
name? Yeah,
Yeah,
Bouchard.
Duchel. Yeah.
So that was something that wasn't put up there so much. So that is new information. And I think that, well, I mean, not new information, but I think that is recently circulating, right?
Right.
And that's where it was like archive or whatever.org, where you can access that information. The books by Ingersoll, that came out a couple of years ago. That's
Right.
what people were talking about. But these
And-
maps and so what was interesting, like all the information that I would put into AI, I'm just like, okay, but put your conspiracy your conspiracy theory hat on, and let's flesh this out. This is like crazy. And it's like, really, what the most intriguing thing about this is that this guy who is a butcher, okay? So the guy who actually created these maps with like Trump and drew out all of these different diagrams of, you know, futuristic air travel.
Mhm.
That's what was amazing, is the fact that this guy, you know, like, who's basically just drawing these crazy diagrams, it was so on point for what air travel is and rocket engines. I mean, that's what was the most interesting thing, not the fact that Trump was put in there, because the numbers are actually pretty insignificant. They were
Mhm.
all throughout, you know, 45 and 47 is mentioned. That's what that's where that app, what is it? The app what is it called again?
Apophenia.
Yes, exactly. That's where that comes in. People are like,
Mhm.
oh my God, 45, 40, I see it, but honestly, there were so many numbers and there were other
Right.
names and none of the other names are really significant. So that's the new information to answer that question. I think that's why the New York Post picked it up. I think that's why Daily Mail picked it up because that is new. It's like another thing okay, that's pretty cool. Maybe he really is a time traveler. So what's next? I don't know. Maybe there's another one out there.
I think it's pretty cool, the drawings and everything. I thought that
Yeah.
was awesome about the butcher, and it got me thinking, right? Like, okay, so maybe, there's this idea, right, that essentially all ideas spring from infinite intelligence. Okay, they spring from this wealth spring, let's say, this singular source of all ideas, and essentially, if your mind is tuned correctly, right, then you will be able to receive that idea and be able to materialize it.
Mhm.
So that being said, it's like maybe that butcher, for whatever reason, right, just was the right person with the right set of tools in the right frame of mind, to be able to actualize, those ideas. But I just going back to the story though from Ingersoll. So the name though in the book is Troomp. It's TROOMP that essentially has been ported over to be Trump, right?
It's like
And
untrue.
Barron and
Yeah.
right and people like don't realize that Barron is it's a
Title.
yeah, exactly. It's a title that's used from the past, and so is Dawn.
Right.
So you just, it's like it's a lot of extrapolation, and of course it's fun, right? It's fun to do the mental exercise. But yeah. I don't know. I just
Yeah, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Wait,
No,
what is Kay Alvarez saying? His eyes were all off. What are you talking about? This is my
Whose eyes?
coworker just jumping in out of nowhere, and I'm very curious as to what he's trying to say.
Whose
Oh, he's
eyes?
talking about Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
Jim Carrey
Oh
thing.
yeah. No,
Oh.
so look,
I
listen,
thought
Jim
he's
Carrey's
trolling
not a
me, 'cause
clone.
he's always trying to come in and like say something, but he's mad at me because I always talk bad about Kobe Bryant. So he never joins this. So welcome, Kay Alvarez. I appreciate you joining the pleb.
Welcome, Kay.
Oh my
Too
gosh.
funny.
So
Jim Carrey. Yeah, go ahead.
no, so Ingersoll was a lawyer and he was very upset about everything that was happening at the time. There was a lot of political unrest. So, the money, he was talking about like money and then the gold standard, the silver standard. There was so many things like what I was talking about earlier that can correlate to today where we're talking about these different things. So when he uses Baron or uses Don, those are the things that he's talking about. That would be for the book that he had about the 1900s, The Last President, right?
Yeah.
Baron Trump and his marvelous adventures underground. I mean, it's weird. I haven't really dove too much into that because that's not even though the name is applicable, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's weird because he's like hanging out with giants but that had to do with the hollow earth theory that was really going around at that time.
Here we go.
Oh, I love
Hollow
the hollow
Earth, flat
theory.
Earth.
I am so down for the hollow earth theory. I totally believe that there is another race of advanced human beings that lives within the earth.
Here we go.
I just want them to take me down there. That's all. They either take me down there or the aliens bring me up. I don't care. Just give me the ride.
In Iceland too, right?
I'm
I mean,
ready.
that's the most recent one. It's like
Yeah.
this little area. Like,
I'm ready.
I'm so ready for this. I am so ready.
Let's do this.
They for
All
sure
right.
have
I
better
think
tech
why
than
not?
we do.
We
I
just
think
have
it's-
to, our minds have to be open for this. That's exciting. That's what has to happen.
Listen, my mind's open, and from what I've gathered, for whatever reason, the aliens always seem to go and pick like these people that can't rub, two stones together. They're like, that's our guy,
Funny.
no one's gonna believe him. word he says, or she says, and they get it right every time, right? They get it right every time. These people pull out their 1970s cell phone, black and white. They take the video, and
Oh my
nobody
God.
believes them. Like, yeah,
No
okay,
high
you
def-
saw an alien.
No high def
In the
footage
trailer
ever.
park closest to you. Like,
So we're gonna have to figure out which one. What's the next topic for the next
yeah,
Deep
I
Underground.
mean,
But
hey,
humble, no pressure, but some pressure.
yeah, I know. No, that's what's
So
interesting because you guys have a lot to do with this. So, what conspiracy theory do you want us to go deep
Yeah.
underground in? And
Exactly.
She's pointing that question
The
to
audience.
the audience. So
Yes,
by all means,
yeah.
leave a comment on the Twitter post. Retweet. Don't forget to retweet, share this episode. It's different from how we've done in the past, where we're going to kind of trend towards maybe a little hybrid of Bitcoin Tonight and Deep Underground, or have maybe one episode every other week. We'll see what's best. You guys provide your feedback. Let us know how you like it, what you liked, what you don't like, how you'd want to see this going in the future. But seems like we had fun today, huh?
It was fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was absolutely a good time.
All right, time to go.
That's it, guys. That's going to do it for us for Bitcoin Tonight special edition deep dive. Have a great night, everybody. And don't forget, tomorrow, I'm back, 12:10 p.m. Eastern, doing the news. And next Monday night, same time, 8:30 p.m. I hope you guys have a great week. Take it easy.
See you guys.